The Audi R8 V10 Plus, the best looking Audi ever, and one of the most attainable supercars out there. But this German masterpiece is unfortunately in its last year of production. And what we are witnessing right in front of our eyes is the full force of electrification. Don't feel sad about it going, be happy that you've seen it and you've lived through it. Will we ever see a V10 in an Audi again? Perhaps not. But given the fact that this shares a lot of its technology with the Lamborghini Huracan, you would have thought it'd follow that footsteps and give it the hybrid treatment. It's going to be a V8 hybrid. But no, it's not. And the next successor to the R8 isn't coming till 2029, supposedly. And that's 1 year away from the 2030 deadline. So the R8 as we know it will be completely dead by the end of this year. Right, I do apologise I'm being so negative, so let's burn some fuel and appreciate what this car is about. Bloody hell, this is strong. That famous 5.2 litre V10 coupled with Audi's trademark Quattro system. This thing is so frightening quick. That sound is glorious. Oh. So the stats: 603 brake horsepower, 520 newton meters of torque, and it'll top out at 203 miles per hour. 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, and it'll do a quarter mile run in 10.6 seconds. So I'm now going to attempt to launch the R8 V10 Plus. Now, as I said before, Audi claim 3.2 seconds. So let's see what it's really like. Now, to put it in launch, all you got to do is press the checkered flag. It goes into performance mode. Hard foot left on the brake. Let's just engage the race box speed. Wow! Oh my God! That's first in the leaderboard. 3.01 seconds. That's 0.01 seconds quicker than the Porsche Turbo S. Audi, come on. Let's not be conservative with our figures now. So that is bloody quick. Well, it's first in the leaderboard. Well, there's only going to be either two positions, either first or second. And it got first by 0.01 second. Wow, that was impressive. Now, comparing this with the 911 Turbo S, which I drove, well, in real world yesterday and on the channel, well, last week, I will say the 911, it's got more drive and feel. However, this gains what the 911 lacks. That noise, just listen to that. And it revs all the way to 9,000 RPM. Oh my God, this engine is addictive. So apparently the Audi R8 shares 70% of its parts with the Lamborghini Huracan. So it's 70% Italian and 30% German, right? Well, for me, that makes the perfect recipe. Let's say, like my perfect restaurant. 70% of the Italian being the food. So a lasagna with the cheese on top being ever so burnt, nice and crispy. And the 30% being a nice cold pint of German beer. That being Bitburger. And you eat it and you drink and it all combines in, yeah. If I was to translate taste into sound, it'd be something like that. The more I drive cars, the more conclusions I make. And the conclusion I've made today is every time I drive a naturally aspirated car, I never fail to smile. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the drama, the noise, And it brings me to realise why people aren't such a big fan of turbocharged cars. I'm a fan of turbo cars, but I can understand why people are not a fan. I get it now. I understand. But let's just join forces, because a car like this we'll never see again. And this car just reiterates why it's my favourite Audi. It looks and sounds delicious. It's got a beautiful 7-speed dual clutch transmission, that being the S-Tronic, works brilliantly in automatic or manual mode. I love to drive cars in manual modes, and the shifts, well, they're second to none. I think the downshifts are the best in this car though. Oh, it's ferocious the way this thing tucks you back in the seat. Oh, it's aggressive, it really is. And the way it goes round the corner too, it's got a perfect weight distribution. That front axle is really nice and light. You can really put it wherever you want. And of course, with the Quattro system, you're just not unsticking this thing. It's an absolute weapon. So this is the Gen 2 R8, the second generation. And in my opinion, I think this is the best looking R8 they've ever made. I think the new one just looks a bit too sharp, and especially in this colour, Dynamo Red. For me, it's the colour to have. But I've actually been quite impressed with how this is on fuel. I'm not going to say how good it is because it's a V10, but however, it is a clever engine. It shuts down 5 of its cylinders when you're cruising. And if you can look hard enough, if you look through the rear view mirror and there's some reflections going on, you can see V10 FSI. Whether that's a coincidence or not, we'll never know, but what a mad coincidence that is. Although this has a rampaging V10 behind me, with a click of a button, it's civilised. That's it. You can live with this car. You can daily drive it. But all your driving modes are on the steering wheel, so drive select, so you've got comfort, auto, dynamic, which sharpens everything up, and individual, so you can set the car up to how you want it. And you've got this checkered flag button here, and if I press this, now it's in a mad setting now. Traction control is off. Just listen to that. Here comes a lion now. You really want to go. Okay, let's tame the beast. Okay, thank you, sir. My heart rate just went from 120 to 160 in an instant. Please calm down, good sir. I just want to drive you nice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we are. So there's no central infotainment screen. I mean, for a guy like me who's not really used to Audi stuff, it's quite confusing, but having said that, you probably get used to it, and it'll probably be quite easy to live with. But in terms of the cockpit layout, it's a really clean design, everything works well, and there's an abundance of carbon fibres absolutely everywhere. It's like Audi have gone to the engineers or the designers and just say, here's no budget, spend whatever you can on carbon fibre. It's everywhere. It's everywhere on the inside, it's everywhere on the outside. You've got a carbon fibre spoiler, carbon fibre wing mirrors, and these carbon fibre side things, whatever you want to call them. It's dripping in it. And all these cars I reviewed in the last 3 weeks, well, 981 GT4, 911 Turbo S, and the V10 Plus. All these cars are your step into the supercar world. All these cars kind of make you realise what cars are about. And I generally can't pick between the three. I genuinely can't. They're all different cars, but they've all got the same meaning at the same time. I don't think you can compare them. So I'm interested to see, what would you choose out of these 3 cars in the last 3 weeks? I'm not going to give my answer because they're all brilliant. Every car's different, but I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. What would you go for? I'd like to thank you for watching today, and we hope you enjoyed this try week of German greats. We'll see you soon for another video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.